What's up, y'all? This is Corey with the OverLook, and we go over the books you may have overlooked. It's Monday morning as I'm finishing up this script, and I thought to myself, what if Hobgoblin got the Venom symbiote? I mean, he clearly leases out other supervillain personas and costumes for franchise purposes, I guess. I don't know. He sells them to other crooks. What if he gave a piece of the symbiote with every suit, and bam, you got a super powered henchman? I don't know. They did that kind of already with Lee Price, but I like my idea better. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like the idea? Who would you get the Venom symbiote to? Or, just leave a like and support. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy. I am the Superior Venom, Spider-Man hisses within the med lab inside Parker Industries. Superior! Flash Thompson, knowing full well of the symbiote's potential, pushes Dr. Wortham aside, telling him to stay back. Spider-Man can't control the symbiote like he can. It's in pain, scared, and confused. Flash wonders aloud what would happen if he offers it a safe place to go and attempts to psychically reach out to the alien creature. The symbiote begins to stretch from Otto's body and sprawls out towards Flash. Then, it speaks through Spider-Man, growling, "Old host, bad, tastes wrong, want to go home." Flash doesn't think twice about what is being said. He's just glad the symbiote is responding to him. That's it. Come back to Flash. Back to where you belong. I think not, Spider-Man scowls, lunging forward and punching Flash hard enough to send the army veteran flying across the room. Your plebeian brain can't hope to command a creature like this. But with my mind bringing it to heel, there is no limit to what I can do. Dr. Wortham begins generating his beta energy, slowly transforming into his cardiac persona. He tells Spider-Man, "I can tell you're not thinking clearly, but I can also see you're dangerous. Either you take my advice as a doctor and relinquish the symbiote, or as cardiac, I'll take it from you." Spider-Man grows a number of tendril-like appendages from his back and jabs at Dr. Wortham, stabbing his chest and disrupting his stored beta energy reactor. Hypocrite! Spider-Man's teeth gnash as he uses his new appendages to hold him up high. This from a man who can't control his own power without his metal mesh skin. He's nothing. Dr. Wortham howls out in pain and collapses on the floor. Physician, heal thyself. You'll repair that eventually. When you do, remember, a true monster would have gutted you like a fish. Outside the med lab, employees are gathering, asking each other about the loud banging coming from inside. Sajani, annoyed, asks why everyone is just standing around, debating on whether or not to open the door. At that moment, a concussive force blasts the reinforced metal door off its hinges and breaks apart the wall surrounding it. Each of the employees, Sajani included, are thrown aside and left helpless as Spider-Man uses his new tendrils to crawl out the laboratory. "One side, woman," he orders. Sajani does so and waits for Spider-Man to turn the corner before running into the lab and calling for emergency medical attention for Dr. Wortham and Flash Thompson. Outside, Spider-Man uses his new appendages to stilt his way across traffic and traverse the side of a nearby skyscraper. Otto thinks to himself that he's never felt so alive. The sheer power of the symbiote is incredible. Of course, Parker couldn't handle it. Only Otto's iron will can leash such a being. Thompson will claim otherwise, try to take it back. But Otto won't let him. Otto must show it's in better hands with him. He'll prove he's in full control, publicly and definitively. So, he makes the call. "Attention, Spiderlings! I must make my presence felt. Alert me to any criminal activity, no matter how minor, and program the Spider-Bots to do the same. I want immediate results. Do you hear me? Find me some crime." Across town, an armored vehicle has been overturned by a superpowered criminal in an enhanced grizzly bear suit. But he isn't the grizzly. That was the last guy. He's the Bruin. And while trying to build their rep, one must remember branding is everything. At that moment, the Hobgoblin swoops in on his goblin glider and requests his cut of the money. The Bruin reluctantly hands over one of his bags of money he looted from the truck. Hobgoblin did sell him the suit after all. Hobgoblin then chuckles to himself as he rockets back into the air. He rips off his mask, revealing himself to be none other than the Goblin King once again. The chuckle soon transforms into a full-blown cackle.
"There's more where this came from, and more idiots like him who can't tell one goblin from another. There are only two kinds, the one true green goblin and those who serve him, whether they know it or not."
At Parker Industries, Sajani Jaffrey has managed to seal his wound for now, but they'll need more of Dr. Wortham's special mesh if they want to keep him walking. Later, he tells her, "I have to go after that creature." Sajani tells the doctor that he's clearly in no shape to move, but he's still better off than Corporal Thompson. Xenobiology is Sajani's chosen field of study, and after a number of tests, it's clear to her that Flash has been using chemicals to help control the symbiote. "Yeah," Flash responds, "and the longer it goes without him, the harder it is to be." "Listen," Sajani interrupts. "Those drugs in the symbiote changed your biology. Your body needs that creature to survive. If we don't get it back inside you soon, you will die." "What? How long are we talking, Doc? Weeks? Days?" "Hours, Corporal. At best." Spiderbot 427 reports a mugging in progress within Alphabet City. They fancy themselves predators, but Otto will show them what it means to be prey. Spiderbot 211 spots a purse snatcher in Greenwich Village. They must be dealt with. They must know this city has a protector, a lethal protector. Spiderbot 845 alerts the hero of someone who is texting while driving. Otto pulls the criminal out of the car and asks the scum if that text was worth his life. Otto then gets a call from Sajani. "I'm busy," he hisses. "Off site. Your friend hurt bad. You can handle it. I have another call coming in." Otto ends the call and picks up the other. "Speak." "Peter? Anna Maria, are you crying?" "I know you're busy." Otto tells Anna Maria it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, he will fix it. Elsewhere, within Roderick Kingsley's safe house, Kingsley curses his luck. His franchises are falling apart. Mysterion is missing. The Uric kid has been exposed and is now gone with the wind. And Blue Streak got busted by Luke Cage in the Mighty Avengers. And now, these three idiots, the Bruin, Blaze, and Devil Spider, gave Kingsley's cut to some random guy? The three new legacy villains attempt to explain that the guy who picked up the money looked just like Kingsley. He had the outfit, at least. And who else but Kingsley knew they were in New York for a delivery? "Shut up, Devil Spider," Kingsley roars. "I made you, and if I don't get my money, I'll shut you down. So you better figure it out, and fast." Later, at Anna Maria's apartment, Otto rushes through the building to Anna's front door so quickly that he barely gives the suit enough time to transform back into his street clothes. When she answers the door, she's crying. "What's wrong? If someone's hurt you, I'll..." "No, I'm worried I hurt you. Your relationship with your Aunt May. It's perfectly natural. She didn't know I was a little person. She wasn't mean, just surprised. I thought I was way past it getting to me. But seeing that look from the mom of the guy I care so much about didn't help. And obviously it showed on my face, which is why you went ballistic. But Peter, it's not her fault. It's mine. Don't be mad at her." Otto hides Anna Maria's face in his chest while an insidious scowl grows on his own. "The fault was mine," he tells her. "I should have spoken to Aunt May, and I'm going to rectify that by doing so now. Don't worry, my dear. She will not be a problem." And now, within the Goblin Underground, Phil Urich, former Hobgoblin, current Goblin Knight, asks the Green Goblin,
"You threw away the money?" "It was cumbersome and unimportant. The message is what really matters. Really, Urich, I can't understand how Kingsley terrified you so. He doesn't have the right stuff in the goblin department. He's going to find out quite painfully how the real goblin deals with pretenders.
The Goblin King descends a stairway into the area where Officer Carly Cooper is being held.
Any progress, Menace? Has dear Carly turned chatty? No, she's stubborn. Well, you tried it your way. Now, we'll do it mine.
The Goblin King reaches down into his satchel and pulls out a vial of glowing green liquid. He holds it up for Carly to see and shakes the vial just enough to get the strange liquid bubbling.
You're going to kill her?
Menace asks cautiously.
She is my sister. I don't see the resemblance,
the king huffs.
But this goblin formula should fix that problem nicely.
Carly begins to shake back and forth violently within her restraints. She looks to Menace. Lily, don't let him do this, please. But it's too late. The Goblin King presses down on a button and sprays a cloud of toxin on the officer.
I'm just welcoming you to the family. One where we don't keep secrets. Especially about Spider-Man!
Meanwhile, Mary Jane is walking along a sidewalk in Central Park West and leaving Carly yet another voicemail. Mary Jane is hoping, praying Carly gets this one. She goes on to explain that she heard Carly's last message about staying away from Peter, but she needs to know why. Mary Jane wants to help, but she doesn't know who she can trust. This woman, Captain Watanabe, says she's a friend of Carly's, but Mary Jane is getting a weird vibe, like she's hiding something. The only thing Mary Jane can do right now is what Carly asked, as well as make her way to Aunt May and Uncle Jay's condo to warn them of the potential danger. Mary Jane checks in with the doorman, and Aunt May welcomes the unexpected surprise. But somehow, Otto is able to slip by security and arrives unannounced. Aunt May gasps when she turns around. Peter? The doorman didn't tell us. I gave you your leg back, and you repay me by humiliating my woman. How dare you do that to me? Jay grabs Otto by the shoulder. Now, hold on! I will not let you speak to your aunt that way. Tears begin to build in Aunt May's eyes. No, he's right. I hurt that poor girl with questions I had no right to ask. Because you don't tell me anything anymore, Peter. You lied when you said you'd quit working for Spider-Man. I saw what he did to that man who kidnapped me. He's a monster. I forbid you to have anything to do with him. What? Otto shouts, fuming with rage. You forbid me? Peter! Shouts another voice from behind. It's Mary Jane, grabbing Otto by the shoulder. We need to talk. Private stuff. Come out to the balcony with me. Now. Mary Jane? What is the meaning of? No, you don't demand answers from me. I demand answers from you. What is going on with you lately? You're acting like a completely different person. And what do you know about Carly? Mary Jane is interrupted by a high-pitched beeping from Otto's phone. He holds up his finger. One moment. Yes. Mary Jane, there's an emergency. Go make the proper excuses. This is what I'm talking about, screams Mary Jane. You act like the whole world's here to serve you. You can't treat people like that. Otto smirks. On the contrary, I can do anything. The symbiote starts transforming Otto's street clothes back into his Spider-Man suit. The blackened alien creature has haunted Mary Jane's memories since the time Eddie Brock broke into their apartment. Oh my god! She collapses to her knees and throws up her arms for protection. No, not again! Otto lets the symbiote thrive off his rage.
Tell the others that Spider-Man summoned me, or tell them nothing, and I will deal with it later. But do not cross me, woman, or there will be consequences.
Mary Jane lets out a shriek and Otto jumps off of the balcony. Seconds later, Captain Yuri Watanabe walks through the front door, pistol drawn. Police, nobody move. The captain makes her way past Aunt May and Uncle Jay into the balcony. To her surprise, she finds Mary Jane alone, with her face buried in her hands. Where's Parker? Spider-Man came and got him. You screamed like that because of Spider-Man. Why? I was startled. That's it, Yuri says, grabbing Mary Jane by the arm. You know more than you're telling. You're coming down to the station. Now. Wait! Jay huffs, clearly confused. What about Peter? What's happening? Has the whole world gone insane? Down in the Diamond District, the new legacy villains, Death Spider, Blaze, and the Bruin, are busy overturning police cars and burning everything in sight. Blaze swears this will do wonders for their reps. Death Spider, on the other hand, doesn't understand. Americans always seem to have an obsession with fame, where he prefers to take his share of the diamonds, return to South America, and never be seen again.
You wish to disappear, eh?
A voice booms over the roar of the burning flames.
I can arrange that.
Later, Captain Watanabe escorts Mary Jane down to the 18th District for questioning. You're not under arrest yet, but if you want to place a call, go ahead. Make it a good one. Mary Jane creates some space between her and Captain Watanabe before making the call. Hello? She calls out. Anyone there? Please. How did you get this number? A man answers. I'm a friend of Spider-Man's. He gave it to me for emergencies and you have to help him. He's been taken over by the Venom symbiote. Don't worry, ma'am, the man responds. Just tell us where you saw him last, and leave this to the Avengers.